There we go. Olha o bupi. Olha o bupi. Muito bom, bom. Alright. And we check the stream, so it's silent and everything. Manager, share stream. Most president Twitter. Let's go ahead and load up. So I think I was on title screen at least good enough to have it be like like the thumbnail and all that. Sit down. Because why not? Alright. Everything seems to be going good, hopefully. Let's hopefully keep it that way. Alright, so so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started since you know, for once past the 4-minute mark and everything like that. So as always everyone, hey yo, my fellow Rumble Maniacs. It's Mr. Rumble Roses here, and welcome back to yet another installment of Let's Play Live, where today I'm going to be trying to do some Elden Ring. Because, for one, Night Rain is not too far off from being released. So I kind of figured, like, hey, you know, I could probably, you know, kind of get myself in the mood for that when the time comes. And, B, um, I made a new character. I made a new character here, as you can see. And C, not really doing much of anything. So I was just like, maybe maybe I'll go live and everything like that because I don't really have done much of anything like that. So I'm going to show off the character that you see before you. So as the title, so you can probably tell by the title of the stream itself, as I said, as it says, an alternate Malenia enters the lands between, and that is basically true for this, even for this case. However, the name itself is kind of spelt differently because I decided to go with melee as in, like the melee, like hand-to-hand stuff versus, like the word male as another part of the thing, right? So I know some people will probably be like considering. So I know some people will probably be like confusing the name for like melee, I know some people are probably gonna be like confusing the word melee and melee, and all that, because it's often going to be said pretty differently, but it's supposed to be a bit on Malenia, and everything like that. But there's a bit of a gimmick with this one, and it actually involves melee. So let me explain. So, um, well, actually, I guess I'll first talk about the stats now. So, right now she's at current level 283. She was supposed to be a little bit lower than that, but things kind of changed per se, because it's like I think mainly because it's like when me and my friend Onyx were playing Elden Ring one time. Um, I think he was like, was being like, hey, if I was gonna make a Malenia, I'd probably do this, that, and the other. Like put like certain stats here and all that. And I tried to build. I was thinking, like, well, maybe I'll try it, and see what happens. But um, yeah, she's got 98 vigor because I was a few runes short of getting 99. 40 mind, 60 endurance, 12 strength, max dex, aka 99, 9 intelligence, 36 faith, and 8 arcane. Um, Her main weapon per se is going to be Dane's footwork. So let me try and explain as much of this as I can. So one random day, as I was playing as my friend Paige build in Elden Ring, I came across a Ash of War called The Poison Flower Blooms Twice. And I was looking at this and I was thinking to myself, it's, it's kind of cool, and I kind of like this. And I've been kind of playing with it, and I've been kind of playing with it with her character, here and there. I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I can do something with this in the future. Um, and there was another thing too that kind of, like you could say, kind of got me into, doing this little thing. So, as you can see, um, she's not really wearing a whole lot of, like she's not wearing like like the biggest and baddest armor and stuff like that. She's wearing Malenia's wig and helm, gold mask rags, the Dale Knight gauntlets, and the gold waist strap. So this was this was a little thing that I've been doing with Pay's build ever since I basically had basically ever since I completed the game as Pay. Um, I guess you could say I got a little bit of inspiration from the Alexa Let Me Solo Her, but with some changes here and there. So I've been kind of doing a bit of a thing where I kind of that I like to refer to as like the bare minimum challenge, where it's like you wear like very little clothing, even if it may be quote unquote like revealing or whatever, and try and see how well you could do, possibly for like finding or possibly like trying to aid people and all that, right? And usually what I've been able to do is kind of just like I've been kind of doing things like like this per se, where it's like I'll have like just the um, like the gold, the top, and like some sort of like certain bottoms and things like that. Even to the point where it's like she would be wearing a thong and whatnot. This one I kind of had was just just for the hell of it, because I had this on the character that I didn't really. It was like, yeah, I don't mind really parting with it, giving it, to another build of mine. But yeah, so like the idea was, like I said, yeah, like the idea was basically like based around like some random ideas where it's like, I wear like certain little things here and there, and I did this was originally with pay because, like I said, I've done everything in the game with her, and I was just like, just doing things for fun, kind of like fun and maybe a little bit of a challenge, and I'm just like, what if I was to do something like that, for like the main game, if not, most of the game, or hell, maybe the whole game or something like that. I don't know. So I thought to myself, well, I could get rid of a bit. I could get rid of a character that I haven't really touched in so long, which I ended up getting rid of Kayla because I haven't really, I haven't really done anything with him ever since I beat the main game and all that. And I was like, I had my fun with him, and all that. So yeah. So I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, I'll do this, go from there and all that. I made her little origin thing be a samurai because I saw someone on YouTube make their own like Malenia character and all that. I was like, hey, what should her origin thing be? And it was said to be samurai. So I was like, well, samurai it is. Um, of course, keepsake, I went with golden seed, so that way I could be able to get things started a little bit quicker. Because why not? So yeah, her main weapons is Dane's footwork, which is currently +3 right now. And of course I have the hand of Malenia because this is Malenia. And I have the answer rapier because I don't know, like I had this like this thought in my head of like, Malenia is known to be, like is known to be using like, poison or rot in this case, and I'm just like, you know, the stuff that I've been, doing was, the answer rapier where it's like, I get this like a blood infusement thing, so I can go proc like not only Scarlet Rot but blood as well, and then find like the poisonous mist Astral War. I was thinking to myself like, this could be a thing where I can probably like proc 3 different things at once, if I get all the stuff required. So it's kind of like a little backup thing, of like, oh, a little bit of little bit of like a longer range weapon per se, but the idea for right now though is trying, to work on Dane's footwork, which, funny enough, funny enough, a while back I did a playthrough of Elden Ring where I was playing as a Batman build. Cause my friend Onyx, he was like, hey, I got an idea, cause like you like playing the Batman Arkham games, why not, try and make like a Batman build and, this, that, and the other, and he gave me, I think it's like Dane's footwork and stuff like that, and I was like, well, I'll try and see what happens for it. And, it was the one time, and it was the one time pretty much where I was like, instead of streaming it, I'll probably just like do a little bit of a thing where it's like I make it like a YouTube exclusive thing, and I'll just like make some random videos here and there of like certain bosses and stuff that I fight, which I ended up doing. So I guess you could say it's kind of coming back full circle, but the actual war is going to be completely different because poison, because like in the poison rot type of thing. So yeah. Yeah, I want to go to Bridge of Sacrifice first because I gotta maybe like, go down and, just like take care of everything down below. Plus, I can also get a few things from that one merchant. But yeah, the one thing I'd say that was slightly different from the plan was originally the arms were supposed to be the Tree Sentinel gauntlets, but um, I didn't really have that on much of my characters except pay, but I wanted to actually keep it on pay because I didn't really have anyone to help dupe it for me.
Hello? Is somebody there? Might I bend your ear for a moment, please? My name is Irina. I've escaped from Castle Morn, to the south. The servants there have rebelled. I can't be sure what it is. My eyesight's been weak since birth, you see. But I swear I heard frightful howling from all over. My good father secreted me out the castle, but decided himself to stay. He says it's his duty. As commander. I fear for father's life. The servants are full of wrath, filled with hatred for every one of us. They've since come for every one of the companions I escaped with. They haven't spared a soul. I fear it's no different at Castle Morn. Please, I implore you, would you mind taking a letter to my father? At the castle, my sole wish is that he escape, even if his honor should be the price. Please. I just want him to be safe. Thank you.
Sure.
Dearly, then please, take this. Deliver it to my father, who remains in the castle, if you please.
But yeah, I guess I could probably do this kind of, show you guys. So this is the face and stuff that I went with for Malenia. This is actually a thing that I saw on YouTube. This is supposed to be an unrotted Malenia. I was like, so it's kind of like maybe, so it's kind of like randomly like maybe I could do a bit of a thing where it's like, she starts out being unrotted, but then somehow kind of do a little bit of like, have like maybe like a slightly change in look or something like that to where, um, she has like the rot, gone through within her or something like that. So. Okay, goddamn. Ow. There we go. Yeah, the talismans I got on for right now is Militant Prosthesis and Godskin Swaddling Claws. I've been given like a few different talismans to use. From one idea I can go with. A couple of others as like backup. That's one my shot. Oh, hello, Knights Cavalry. Ow. No. No! That was a cheat. Oh, I'm gonna get your ass. Oh, I'm so gonna get your ass for that. I'm so gonna get your ass for that. I'm so gonna get your ass for that. You should not have killed me. That was not, you're not allowed to. Fucking night, fucking boils, I tell you what. I had that bitch ass proc too. No, all the way back here. I know I should have probably like, you know, gotten the graves, but I mean, he was right there, so. Oh.
Buying or selling?
Alright. Last time until nightfall, because that's when those boils like to come out and about. Alright, fuck boy. Seriously, why none of my hits landing? That's not a hit, that was a cheat. That's not a hit. That was on the other side of him. Oh, quit moving. That's not a hit. That's not a hit, and that should not cancel me out of my play. Man, this is horses. At least I got to practice horse. That's not a hit. Come on. Got your ass. Revenge, bitch. Okay. Like revenge, bitch. Like you got lucky in round one. Yes, now. Okay, first there should be a golden seed up here. They're gonna kill these Jando. Golem arrow singer boy. Brum, 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 brum. I mean, he's no harm, red jellyfish. Alright, so now I got a tool of 7. We got jellyfish. Okay, so I've already took care of Margaret. Yeet! One by one you all shall fall. Next. I got a long half axe, apparently. No, hurt the jellyfish. That's it. Sanctuary stone, of course. Alright. Yeah, that's right. Fuck off. Da, 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 da.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar. You can see menial. They gave me good foul creep. I'm sorry, but whatever. Take this.
Sacrificial
I see.
twig.
From Arena. Thank you. I'm in your debt, but I can't leave yet. Even if the castle should fall. As commander, I must remain to ensure the treasured sword of Morn does not fall into the wrong hands.
But yeah, I've been kind of like randomly thinking about it, in the sense if I like want to, if I want to like, you know, do the full thing where it's like, oh, it's gonna be like, you know, Elden Ring, you know, to, you know, like, in order to like, you know, lead up to Night Rain or something. Cause there's still that slight part of me that kind of like wants to maybe like, you know, do a little bit of Dead by Daylight with the 2v8 mode before it goes away. For the time being. So, I don't know. Boop boop. I think that might have been a TikTok thing. Let me see. Yeah, when I hear that boop boop, it's usually something going on with TikTok. I don't know like, you know, the lore or the story, whatever, of these like blob-looking things. But I had like a random thought going through my head. So it kind of came to me via like the ones that I've ever seen in like the DLC, kind of. talk about it in a moment. So I had like this random thought going through my head about like those blob things and all that. I guess it kind of came to me because of like their attacks, if you will, and it made me just like randomly think of something. It kind of made me like randomly think of like a thing of a, like it kind of made me think of like how how they do their thing, if you will. So in my head, I randomly thought that um ow. I hate when the fucking thing misses. Okay, can you fucking like die already? So I don't know why, but like in my head, I had like this thought that because of like if those things drop onto a person, or something, to think about to like try and consume them, consume them alive and all that. Well, I had this random thought in my head about like how like like how I thought I randomly had a thought in my head about like how some of them could keep their victims where it's like they don't like consume them entirely to where it's like they could become completely nothing. But it's like they use like the victim some of the victims okay, how am I trying to say this? Imagine if you will, right? The one of those blob things fell on to a person, and it killed them. Like it kind of like consumed them whole, right? What if there was a possibility of like some of the victims that have been consumed by those blobs, you know, still like even though they're not alive and all that, but like some of them, if not maybe all of them, at some point might have been somewhat kept, um, kept, like their bodies have been kept and their bones have been used for like ways for those blob things to defend themselves. If that, hopefully that makes somewhat sense. I gotta weep. Like I don't know. Like I just had like the thought in my head about like you know some of the victims that that get caught by those blob things where it's like they're not they're not like like digested or whatever the case may be, but like like their body like after they like after they they've died, it's like um it's like like their bodies have been like merged or something with the blob creature, and um and their bones get used as like defense, like as a like a defensive tool. Okay, so I'm gonna summon my little jellyfish. Why not? Even though the jellyfish is not like been upgraded or whatever, but still it's pretty useful in my opinion. Like the jellyfish still has its uses. Okay. Go table of lost grace. See if we can do any upgrading of our stuff and things and stuff. Got the what you want just there. Take those. That. Take that for now. Alright.
Ah, hello. You must be new here. I'm, well, the honor of... By the way, she's my servant. Take your eyes off if you find her. Be sure to tell me if you meet a young woman. She's a servant. She's been my... I've lost count of them, honestly.
Well, I took you no man to lay out your own.
That. Rapier +2. Put some things in my box. Put that there for now. I do want to save the poisonous mist for right now. 'Cause I need to try and like get the. I need to try and like find the thing that allows me, to get the blood infusements. But then again,
Well, I took it no matter to lay out your own.
yeah, I'll do that for right now. If I ever come across the thing, to infuse the blood, then I can do that. Hello, Fia. Just do this
I
because
am
why not?
pleased to see you again. Would you like me to hold you once more? Now, come closer.
So, when it comes to Fia, I've had one character, which is Great Pumpkin Lord, have a thing where
You
have that
are
little connection,
very warm.
with Fia and all that. But I had a bit of another random little thing as far as my own little like random ass lore goes. Is that Ariana apparently has a thing for Fia, even if she is a deathbed companion and all that. But apparently it's like somehow it's like I guess you could say like she's always been fascinated with being with other women because of how Ariana's always been known to be like a thing like a lady of the night, quote unquote, for the men. But something about Fia, like it it piqued her interest, and she really had, and she really got ended up getting having a thing for her. So
Then good day to you, my dear.
but yeah. Put that there. That's gonna put that there. Alright, so little Stormville main gate, because we're gonna go through the castle. I went ahead and basically I fought Margit on my downtime. I actually uploaded a video. I actually uploaded a video to my YouTube channel about that. I just have to like I just have to like do a little bit of editing with the title and all that, but yeah.
You there? Come over here, would you? You're tarnished, aren't you? I would advise against taking the main gate into the... It's tightly guarded by hardened old hands. Oh, try the opening right here. The guards don't know about it. You'll breach the castle undetected.
No, use the main gate.
You certainly don't have to trust me. Well, if you must go through the gates, I'll signal them to open. But of course, I'd advise against it. The gates! Open the gates!
Alright, so now that we got that taken care of.
What are you doing? What's it to you? Back.
Thank you for your bell bearing.
To deserve perfection.
Yeah. There we go, Warhawk's Talon. Is that? Lever valve. It's like, yeah, blabbermouth. Exile armor. Ew, you bitch. Other straight sword. Chrysanthemum axe. Hook claws. I know eventually I will have to start like putting a thing into my like some stuff into my cerulean class. I think I should be good for a good little bit. Thank you for that. Curse or talisman. Rusty key. Throwing dagger. So I can get this little shiny thing over here. So I can follow the rules of the pay, where it's like if I see shiny, I have to collect it. Killed Foulfoot. So pick a Foulfoot. Pick a Foulfoot. Pick a Foulfoot. Pick a Foulfoot. Hello again, boy. Oh! I'll take 3, thank you. Okay, your pants. Your armored pants. And put that in there. Really, this thing causes blood loss buildup, huh? Well, very interesting, tin. Put the wolfies in the thing. Uh, I'll use the daggers for right now. There's a feather. Wait. Yeah.
Ah, nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. I'm looking for when I'm not hot-foot enough about this place. Not exactly I see. You can see it then. Well, I'm tarnished, but unlike still, I'm privy to... Would you care to learn as a fellow...
No harm, no foul. I'm taking the skills and shit. when you can hit the rock. One, two. Is he gonna go that way? Certainly is. Come on. There you go. So errata for a moment. Getting fail. Yeah. I win. High on next. 와, You took long enough. You took your little sweet time there, didn't you? Anyway, let me see something real quick. Because I'm trying to think if, like, this is sort of like the area where you can go to find tops, because I think it's like, you know, where he's at, you can probably get at least one secretary, aka secretary. And what I'm trying about it, I kind of want to get that for the most part. For the most part, yeah. Alright. Bum, 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 bum. Whoop. Hello.
Hello? Is someone there? My name is Hayata, and I'm journeying in search of the distant light. If I might be so bold as to ask, would you donate any Shabriri grapes in your possession to me? My eyesight has been weak since birth, you see. I can't tell which way I'm supposed to go next, but when I eat one of those grapes, I can feel a distant light in the back of my eyes. It will lead me to my true duty as a finger maiden.
Sure. Also skull. So one random way that I've learned about like how you can be able to know for sure about when you get the the true benefit of using like Dane's footwork and stuff, for example, is pretty much how like you do your like R1 attack. So pretty much when you do like a sweep the leg type of thing, that means that only one of your hands is has got the thing on, but you want to be able to try, but you want to try about like what you want to try about do is make sure like you get like the way you know is if you have like if you do like like 2 kicks from the start, and also of course if you can be able to do this, if you can be able to pull this off, then you'll know that like the melee weapons are pretty much working. That's about 7 with +1. Alright. 7 with +1, yeah. Okay. So now that we've done that, we can go over here. Use the ladder and use the elevator to go back down. Progress today! So number 2. Insert key. Cockroach with shield. It's fall down to the endless abyss. Iron wet blade. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. There's another area over here. Wasn't there? Yes, over here. Oh. Oh, so Crimson Hood right here. I can't remember if I can't remember if like if I. Oh, I think I always remember like getting the blue, but never the red. Alright, go up here. Then we're gonna try and run past the most of this shit. Ow. I win. Alright, chill here. I always found it kind of interesting that, like, this is like one elevator early in the game that's not already in a spot where, you know, you can just, you know, get on it. So I was like, oh, you have to fucking, you know, pull the lever, gronk. Oh, lever! Something like that, Hannah. But welcome on in. How you doing, Brento? From here. Well, here's hoping. But yes, you are right. Yes, I am technically running around in undies because it's a bit of a challenge. It's a bit of a challenge thing that I've been kind of playing around with on a couple of builds of mine. I was just like, you know, I kind of want to try and like do like a new, like a non-New Game Plus type playthrough with a brand new character and see like how far I can be able to get, you know, while wearing very little armor and stuff per se, very little clothing and stuff. I play. Thanks, runner. That's too. Yeah, I talked about this before, but like I had a couple of my characters like in Elden Ring do this, and everything. One of them being first one was like with pay and everything because like I had basically done everything in the game with her, so it's just like, you know, I want to try and maybe like randomly challenge myself, you know, see how things go, or to see if I can maybe like, you know, how to see if I can maybe, you know, like help random people out while wearing quote unquote bare minimum stuff and, you know, and everything, you know, because it was kind of like the next little thing, you know, for like, you know, trying to, you know, just you know, have some fun in the game. And then my Bloodborne character Ariana, because I don't know if that gets to when me myself and Chassis 5 are ever going to be doing another thing over there, I've been like, oh, I could be able to do a little thing with her build as well, where it's like, she, wears this, that, and the other. Bit of an inside joke down my first playthrough of Fallout 4. I supposed to put the souls of her down. Give us when I wasn't supposed to. I mean, that's the beauty of games. You can be able to do things that, you know, that may seem, weird, crazy, funny, or, what have you. Because, it's not hurting anybody. But yes, basically in a nutshell, like, I kind of have, like, this idea, at least for this look, when I was playing around with as Pace build one time. Only difference is that I don't have the pre-sentinel gauntlets for the arms. So, yeah. So it was a glitch because after that because, because, because that was before I found the pit boy. Well, that could be a possibility as well, it's like, oh, something happens, but it's like, you get certain thing or two, it's like, happens there, but yeah, so, so the idea was, as I like to refer to it as like the bare minimum challenge, where it's like, you wear very little clothing, or like more like maybe like two pieces of clothing at most, where it's like, if you go like this, or if you go like say, like this, for example, just to see like how things would play out, but in this case, I kind of said to be like, I'm gonna kind of play around with this because it was like the whole situation of, like the whole golden look, because why not? And like I said, I wanted to kind of like, I wanted to kind of like, randomly see how things would be in terms of, like doing like a new game run with that, just see like, how much I could be able to do with just like, with this bare minimum stuff, and just like having like a melee weapon that can give like poison slash rot, scarlet rot and stuff. So yeah. Ow. Ow. Haha. You didn't get to do your special move. But anyway, but yeah, since you're here and everything, I guess I might as well kind of talk about the character that you see before you. So this character is based off of a side boss in this game called Malenia, but I decided to do a little bit of a bit because I decided to change. It's because I decided to kind of pronounce the spell Malenia a little bit differently, where you actually have like the melee, have like it's like like melee or melee whatever into the name, because for the most part she's gonna be using like a lot of melee type maneuverability because of this thing right here called Dane's footwork, and I have an Ash War called the Poison Flower that blooms twice, which is something I found on Pei's character at one time, and I was like, I kind of randomly see myself doing like a random ass build where I have that on a character. Maybe I can do like a thing where it's like, oh, I can maybe like make like a future Malenia build and just have her be like pure melee type. The Boyd.
Be proud. You were a fine warrior. Your only mistake was your choice of master. Let the winds lift you to a higher place. Well, who do we have here? Tarnished, are you? Clearly not one of Godric's lot. I am Nefeli Lu. Tarnished and warrior, like you. I'm here by decree of my father. How utterly repellent this is. This grafting of Godric's ill befits a lord. He's tainted the very winds. If you intend to challenge Godric, I ask you call upon me. The winds run foul with his deeds. I'm certain father would permit me aid the fight.
Alright, so we got Nefeli Lu as the summon. There's a gold sign over there. But before I face Godric, I'm gonna try and see if I can take on the secret little wormy thing that's in this castle, because I want to try and get another golden seed. The more golden seeds that I get, the more I can be able to fill up my my flask and stuff. Yeah, the original melee weapon was originally going to be, I think it's like the dry leaf arts, but Onyx was like, I was like, well, I see Malenia as being more of like Dane's footwork because of how she likes to, because of how she likes to, how she likes to kick from time to time. I was like, well, alright, well, I guess go with that, which technically this would be like my second build where it's like where I've actually used Dane's footwork for something. But the first time I ever did the first time I ever did a playthrough of Elden Ring with Dane's footwork was when I did my Batman build. And with that, I made that playthrough exclusively for YouTube, where it's like, I'll just like, where I would just like, I would go to like certain fights and stuff here and there, and I would like, make like little recordings and stuff like that, and post them on YouTube, and have a playlist of all the stuff that I've done there. Surely what you seek is somewhere close by. That's Roger. That's Roger talking. Five. Rainbow stone. It's always kind of funny in a way, but like I remember like the early times when I did some of my like early playthroughs and all that, and Onyx would be co-oping with me and all that. And he would always tell me like, hey, come over here, make sure you get this this door open. Because I was always so, because I was honestly like always so used to fucking Bloodborne's mechanic. Because I think like in Bloodborne, um, I think like allies could actually like open up doors and shit. But it's been a hot minute that I'm not gonna really put my money on it fully. One and two. In the end, I win. Backward call. Okay. Ow. That should have been a dodge. Seriously, I rolled through that. That should not have knocked me down. Seriously, that should not have hit me. Ow. That should not have stopped me. Quit it. Ow. Game, I rolled through that. That should not have hit me. Thank you. Quit cheating me out of my victory. Like daggers. Dumbstar key. There's a death pistol. Now we make the long climb upwards. As we climb upwards, we see more of the. We see this. What we see the face of this thing. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to Table of Lost Grace real quick. See if I can do any sort of upgrading, even if it might just be one thing.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
Alright, so +5 on that. I will keep that. I'll keep the 2 smithing stones that I have. Well, I'll keep the 2 smithing stones that I have, so that way I'm gonna go find, the other thing for that. Now we're going to go fight Godrika. Because she needs to die. And I can fucking his ruin. His great ruin to use temporarily. Gonna skip the cutscene because no one cares about his bitch ass. I command the kneel. Cuts off his own hand so we can pick up the dragon's arse.
bathed in rays of cold.
That's you, Emo. Alright. Alright, so we have 8 flasks. Couldn't tier flasks. Alright, so strawberry grape. Even though like I've already got the thing here, I just forgot to do it because, you know, that's how you normally do the thing if after you would have defeated Goldrick. Hello again.
Hello? Is someone there? Would you donate any Shabriri grapes in your possession to me? I'm on a pilgrimage, in search of the distant light, and when I eat one of those grapes, I can feel the light in the back of my eyes. Oh, many thanks to you. Now I can feel the distant light once more. You are most kind indeed. May the blessing of the fingers be upon you.
Got the As You Wish gesture. Alright, now I'm gonna go see Pops real quick. Just see if I can get some stuff and random stuff and things from him. Early flower.
Your tongue, then, believe it or for a... Well, you're a true... My name, presuming only...
Alright. Gotta love it. But yeah, I'm not like 100% sure though, cause like, you know, talk about like, oh, we could be able to, you know, do like a thing with like, you know, you could be able, you know, because I have like the poison variant on. Like, oh, I could be able to do like some poison, but it's also like I could do, if I can, you know, do the thing and do the different things, right? I could also do like a little bit of I could do like a little bit of Scarlet Rod as well.
you around here. Surprised you no matter why, don't. Oh, but don't.
That. Alright. We go back to table. Now I gotta think here. We'll do this.
Are you tired? Let's grey anchor until it be tragic across the far but so brave. Seek to become
I apologize if I'm skipping these for those that, you know, never seen this, but it's like I've been through the Sunken Depths before.
to think. The chill tainted and bliss, the great harmony in the demigodric the run. Now, let do.
Okay, so there, up there, up there.
Now, those eyes tell a story of a challenger who's felled her mark. Find them well. Now lay out your arms.
Alright, so now it's in the Mystic Zone 3s. And Malenia takes Somber Stones, Somber Mystic Stones, so that's that, fine. Try to remember something. Nope, not yet. Oh, it's you.
I see. Welcome to the Round Table Hall. I teach and explore so that one ensuring by the way. You do. Most time you are well.
Joanne Countessions. It's open up in here, but Boyle's not here yet. Get Gostock's ship. Buckler. The deck is why not. Oh, there he is.
Oh, this is a rare. I can't very well. It is sick. Allow me up. You, a house, remember you.
Whee! You know, all this time, like, I've been always just simply trying to kick his ass, that I've never known that you can get a taunt from him. So... it was like all I remember at the time was like, oh, you know, if you want to get, if you want to randomly get like the taunter's tongue thing, it's like, oh, you go down there, kick his ass, you know, and get the thing. I never knew he had the fucking taunt, or not taunt, or gesture. But it is what it is. I'll keep the buckler for right now. Alright, so I think that's where I'm gonna go ahead and call it for the night, cause I wanted to, I kind of wanted to just, you know, like, do something, you know, for the hell of it. Because like, yeah, cause like yesterday, for those that don't know, yesterday I had a little bit of a situation where Mother Nature is being a bitch, um, kind of fucked with my power here and there. Well, I appreciate you being here, Hannah. I really do. But yeah, like basically in a nutshell, Mother Nature was being a bitch. I had a little bit of a storm that kind of happened through here. And even though it didn't cut up the even though it didn't cut the power off like, you know, fully, it had its moments though where it's like, you know, something kind of turned off and it fucked with the router that we had, and we were trying to figure out like, you know, if it was our router or if it was the people that, you know, we get internet stuff from. Don't know exactly what happened, but other than that, brown, brown outs. I never actually thought about it that way, but I, I guess so. But but yeah, it's like, you know, but yeah, we didn't know exactly what was going on, but my stepdad got a new router thing, and even though it was a bit of a bitch to set up because it was like, oh, you know, like an unidentified thing and all that, so it's like, oh, another way of, right. I get what you're going. I get what you're swinging. I get what you're cooking with, Hannah, and I get it. I know the thing. But yeah. But yeah, other than that though, like, we managed to get everything working. We managed to get our phones hooked up to the new router. We got, computer stuff, we got the PS4 stuff taken care of as well, so hopefully we won't have to worry about another router thing for a good long while. But you never know, because technology at its finest. So yeah. But yeah, probably probably after I end this stream, I might do like a few little things here and there with Malenia. I might try to see if I can find like the wondrous physics stuff and find out like um what the original plan was for the build that I saw in terms of getting like the certain flasks and stuff to use. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess technically later on today because it's now Wednesday, as far as my time goes. But yeah, I might. But yeah, if I don't do Elden Ring during my normal time frame, then I might play a little bit. Then I might play some Dead by Daylight because as I mentioned before, like the 2v8 mode is gonna be going away pretty soon, and I want to try and maybe like get as much I want to try and like get as much what's what I'm looking for, get as much blood points and stuff as possible. So that way I can be able, to cap things off, especially whenever, because I don't know for sure, like, as to when the FNAF chapter is supposed to release, to live servers, so I might want to try and maybe, like, do a little thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to try and maybe get as much blood points as I can, put some stuff, I think, in the spring trap, if I can, if someone will get them, and, go from there. But, but yeah. Look on my phone. See who I could possibly raid, and oh my gosh, did I see PlayStation app have a new look. But yeah, I hope everyone has enjoyed, the random stream and everything like that of Elden Ring. Um, been quite a thing, for like technically the debut of, Malenia to, you know, have her sick little self be going around like, between and punching and kicking the bejesus out of things. Curiouser, curiouser. Let's see what you're doing besides sports. How long you've been living for. I might go to this person and try it. Let me switch back to PC. Mecha Mazui. Mecha Mazui. Don't know. We're gonna see if we can raid. We're gonna see if we can raid this person. I don't know anything about him. I just figured I was like, hey, you know, right? You know, get like a little random raid and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah. So my next planned stream, if everything goes well, will hopefully be later on today, technically. It'll probably either be some more Elden Ring with Malenia, or I might do some Dead by Daylight. But then Thursday will be the next planned stream, which definitely will be more Elden Ring for sure. Um, you know, I'll be doing my thing with Malenia. And then sometime on Friday will be a special little Let's Play live, where I'm going to be trying to play some Elden Ring Night Rain. Do the thing, but yeah. If you enjoy what you saw today, though, you know, and you're watching this on Twitch, so feel free to give the channel a follow and become a Rumble Maniac today. You know, be sure to check out my other channels and stuff like that. You know, from my other stuff like that. You know, from like my YouTube channel, you know, and stuff like that. Hold on, hold on. Um, hold on. I'm unrating real quick because I'm in a fucking ad, and I kind of want to not be in a fucking ad. You know, so that way I can, you know, to go in and say hi and not to suffer through ads and shit like that. But yeah, if you enjoyed what you saw today, you know, feel free to give the channel a follow. You know, check out my YouTube channel, my YouTube channel and everything, because I often do post a lot of random stuff there from time to time. You know, from like some past live streams to PS4 exclusive videos that I do every now and then, and stuff like that. And of course, you know, if you have a Twitter account, you know, you can follow my Twitter to you know, be notified from when I possibly go live, or you know, just have some sort of way of messaging me, whether it be like a tweet or a DM or something. So hell yeah. But until I see y'all in the next video or live stream, as always, take care everybody, and I hope y'all have a good week or weekend.